Well, hello. Welcome to Christy Iwuchukwu's Brilliance TV show. That's right. This is the show that we do every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's right. Every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So what do we do at this show? This is where we spotlight the defining moments and accomplishments of today's top business leaders, entrepreneurs, unique and most successful individuals. And this is where you come in. Why? Because this show cannot exist without you. So who am I? My name is Christy Iwuchukwu, aka Lady Christy, CEO and founder of Chosen Path Global, helping you unleash your confidence and rock your brilliance. It's about speak up and speak out. I just want to let you know that I have something coming on next month. Next month, the month of June, I will be launching Women's Coaching Association, and I would love for you to be a part of it. This is a platform for coaches to connect, network, and market themselves and gain clients and be supportive at the same time. So I would love for you to be a part of that association. If you know someone that will benefit from being a part of this association, please go ahead and invite that person in. And today, you guys know what today is. Today is Monday. And I am lucky, fortunate, excited to be introducing my guest today. My guest today is coming to us all the way from Texas. That's right. Daphne Jones, coming to us all the way from Texas. She is called the Smart Money Chick. And there's a reason for that. And so today we're going to be talking about the importance of financial literacy. The importance of financial literacy. So who is Daphne Jones? Listen, if you are doing anything right now, I want you to stop whatever you're doing, grab your pen, grab your paper, and whether you're using the iPad, whatever are you using, go ahead and grab it because she's about to drop some nuggets. And Daphne is a licensed financial professional, not just a professional, not just a financial professional, a licensed professional, licensed financial professional. That's right. And she's really going to dive in and tell us and inform us and educate us on how to make wise decisions with our finances. So please help me welcome Daphne Jones. Daphne, are you there?
Yes. Hi, Christy. How you doing?
I am great. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you coming on board. I know it's getting late over there in Texas, and
a little bit.
Yeah, so thank you for joining us. So let's go right into today's conversation. And tell us a little bit of who is Daphne Jones.
Okay. Daphne Jones, wife, mother, Marine. I'm a Chicago Bears fanatic. They're my favorite team. Grew up watching them from my dad's knee, but won't get too much into that. But what I am is I'm a financial literacy consultant. And basically, I help people make money, save money, and pay less in taxes. I pride myself on being able to cut through the mumbo jumbo and some of the acronyms that are often used when people sit down with financial planners or advisors. So I make all that stuff, I put it in plain English, and I help you understand how those principles can help you in your life, and what you need to do to have the future, whether it be retirement, whether it be money to save, to open a business, whatever that is. I help you to achieve those goals.
Wow, I love the fact that you said that you put it in plain English, because sometimes that's one of the things that if you are talking to somebody who is not familiar with financial literacy, it helps if you can break it down where that person will really understand what you're saying. So thank you for I can't even wait to dive into this conversation. But anyhow,
Okay.
This show is about really the defining moment. So tell us about you. What was that defining moment for you that made you say, wow, I no longer want to be here anymore. I
Well,
want a different place. I want to tell a different story, because behind every successful person, I know there's a journey that takes them where they are right now. So what is that defining moment for you?
well, the defining moment came about, well, I guess we're looking at now almost about 10 years ago. Uh, been married, got a great husband. We've been together about 28 years now. We have a son. And we basically followed the rules. We went to college. Well, first we went to the military, uh, went to college, got married, had our son, and we were working in corporate America. And one day I had a little trouble getting out of bed. Had trouble standing up and so forth. Well, I had developed a neurological issue, and I couldn't work anymore. And not too much longer after that, during that same time period, my husband was laid off. And there's nothing scarier, Christy, than when you have to face with the fact that you can't earn money. You've been a worker all your life. As I said, you followed all the rules. You went to school, kept your nose clean, getting promoted at work. And at that point, when that happens, when you can't earn anymore, it's very scary. And then you start questioning and looking at all the previous financial decisions that you've made. And you find out they weren't very good ones. And often what happens, or does happen regularly in America, is that we think because we're able to make payments on something, because we're able to stay afloat, that we're doing well, or that we're making great decisions, and we're not. And that journey, that's when the journey started. One was trying to keep our head above water and to undo the knot we were in. And that led to a lot of study, reflection, quite a bit of prayer. And once we began to work our way out of it, I wanted to help others, member of my church, I wanted to help others not to get there and to be able to avoid it and to manage the risk. Because there's risk everywhere. Even if you think you're not taking risk, you're dealing with risk. And it's all about how you handle it. How do we mitigate it? How do we plan for life, for the unforeseen issues? So that's where the journey started for me.
Awesome. Awesome. So why are you so particular in helping women?
Well, our financial journey is a little different from men, primarily because we are women. We get married. We tend to have children. We tend to be the primary caregivers. That tends to interfere with our earning capacity. We're already often paid less than men, given the same job. So then we have children, so we tend to step in and out of the job field or even owning a business. We often become the primary caregiver when our parents get ill, things of that nature. Our financial trajectory is different. We face many more problems from a divorce, things of this nature. So, and that's oftentimes with women that we need to understand exactly what's going on financially to get a grip so that we can actually be equal, so we can be partners with our husbands in the discussion about our money, whether it be from money we're receiving from our parents or just so we can sit at the table with the facts that we need to make decisions, informed decisions.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for that. So when we talk about financial literacy, for some of us, it's not something you learn from school. It's really something you learn as you go.
Right.
And for the most part, we don't learn that until something like an illness strikes.
Yes.
Why should we seek out financial professionals?
Well, if you ask, Joe and Mary America, You know, you're in downtown LA or downtown Houston, and you ask them why don't they have a financial professional. They'll tend to say because they don't have any money. As we know, 20% of the country gets a great financial education, but the majority, 80%, do not. Everyone wants to help millionaires, pro athletes, and things with their money. But when it comes to the sheriff's deputy that's married to a nurse, not so much. So again, when you talk to these people, they say we don't have any money, or that there's also a secondary belief there that a financial professional is going to take a look at their finances and tell them to stop going to Starbucks, stop going out to eat, you know, cut off the cable, you know, no more fun for you. That it's going to be a restrictive thing, and that's not necessarily the case. When you talk to your, for instance, I'm not fee based. My money is paid by any products. If you choose to purchase any products, that's who pays me. But that can be looked into when you start looking for a particular professional. But also do some reading and things on your own and have some basic knowledge for yourself. But again, that's why many people don't. Now, what a financial professional does, for instance, what I do is I come in, I sit down, I speak to you, and I ask questions and I gather a little information, but really you're going to be doing most of the talking. And I'm going to take a look at the whole picture. You may fall into the case, as most Americans, you've got about half of your money going to living expenses, where you live, food, things like that. You've got about a quarter going to taxes, income taxes, property taxes, and the last part is going to be debt. So a good financial professional will take a look at that. And we've already talked about what are your plans for educating your kids, where do you want to live at retirement, things like that. And we're going to find a way to help you bring some of that debt down, lower your current taxes. And then with that money we find, and we do find money that folks didn't know was there, we take some of that money. We don't ask to take all of it, but we take some of that money and do put it into savings. But we also take half of that money and put it back into living expenses. That helps you build the saving muscle. Because often when we sit down and we talk to individuals, they say, oh, I should be saving, they'll pick something out of the air like $400 a month. Mm-hmm. Well, that's a great number there. And through the adjustments that we talked about reducing debt and decreasing taxes, we may actually find on paper $400 a month. But it's best not to remove that from the household at that time. So we might say, well, maybe we need to save about $150, maybe $200 a month, and put the rest and put the other portion back in the living expenses. Now, I know you may say, well, you guys help find money, and then you don't want to put all the money in the savings. You guys must not be too good at this financial planning stuff. Well, no, we're not. We're very good at this financial planning stuff, because what that does is that builds your saving muscle. And if something happens, you get a flat tire, need to buy a battery, the air conditioner goes out, which here in Houston is very important. You don't change the savings plan because life happened. You still got the savings plan going on, and you're prepared for the future. And the things that life, as I said, life happens.
Wow. So for somebody who doesn't know how financial professionals work, or maybe they do, but they are sitting on the side wondering, is there cost involved? What would you say to that person?
Okay, in some cases there are. These are called fee-based professionals, and fee-based financial professionals, and they will tell you up front that there's a fee for their services. But also there are professionals like myself who are not fee-based. As I said, we make money from the companies whose products we may suggest for you. And in my case, I'm very lucky that I'm with a broker that we've got over 100 A-rated companies. So when we talk, we'll devise a plan that's tailored for your particular situation. I won't try to fit you. I'm not restricted. Let's say I'll pick a name out of the hat. It's not like with State Farm, where I would only have State Farm products. Or if I worked for Nationwide and I would only have Nationwide products. I do have access to those products, but I have access to others also. So it would be what would be best for Christy? What would be best for Adam? Because things would be different. Just because, let's say, we're the same age, we still have different issues. I may have kids, you may not, married, homeowner, you may be responsible for taking care of your mom, that sort of thing. So as I said, it's a tailored made situation.
So then what is so you are really like a broker where you're not really focusing on just one company's product, but you have access to other companies' products. Depending on what that person needs are, you are able to help that person.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's really neat. So what value as a licensed financial professional would you add to an individual? And how would you enhance that person's financial situation?
Well, one is by being my full-time job dealing with finances, I'm abreast of the latest changes and some of the newer products that are out and how they would fit to a given situation because things are changing. I have access on my team to tax professionals that have been in the tax preparation business for over several decades. I have access to credit specialist, credit repair specialist. So that's the thing about being a licensed professional. I'm around other licensed professionals. So I bring that value to the person that I'm speaking with. So if I'm not an expert right then, I can always say, hey, I know a guy and we can get the answer done. That's what a licensed professional brings. And often just many things folks haven't thought of. That there are multiple ways, for instance, to save for college. Most people think of just 529 programs. There are other programs that are far less restrictive to save money for college. It's very important to think about taxes in retirement. Many people do not. To think about health care in retirement. To think about long-term care protections in retirement, particularly with women. Again, with women, we tend to live longer than men. They tend to just kind of drop dead. we tend to hang around a bit longer and decline differently. So again, those are the things a financial professional thinks about when they sit down and start talking. Those are some things in the back of our head. We're listening very intently to what you're telling us. We're gathering information, but we know how to apply it to some of the situations you may or may not be thinking about.
So what do you, as a financial professional, and you've been working with a lot of clients, what do you think is the number one issue or struggle that people have when it comes to their finances?
It's a combination of debt. That's really heavy. And believe it or not, it's not necessarily consumer debt, but often student loan debt. And the not understanding that you need to start preparing for retirement as early as possible. That, as we're talking about real early, like as soon as you get your first real job, whether it be when you graduate trade school or graduate college, you need to start to develop a retirement plan that's independent from your job. 401s are nice. They have their place. The traditional pension doesn't exist too much anymore. Those things are great, but you need to develop your own independent retirement plan that you're responsible for and putting cash into.
So is there any age that would be better to start investing? Because some of us have made a mistake and we perhaps didn't start investing early on. Is there hope for somebody who said, I didn't do it, it's too late? Is there hope for that person?
Oh, yes. Yes, there is. As long as you're breathing, there's hope. You may find yourself in the same as many did who had a rough time in 2008 when the market crashed and many people were unemployed for some as long as 2 to 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I had friends, they were out looking, work was not there. So in many cases, monies that they had saved to a retirement,
Mm-hmm.
they consumed to survive.
Mm-hmm.
It literally became necessary. That's how we paid the rent or had a place to stay or bought food. So yes, once you start receiving an income, you can begin to find vehicles to save for retirement. And those are the things you can discuss with a licensed professional. Because as I said, taxes are important and how you're going to be taxed in retirement. But yes, you can start putting away, and there's no such thing as putting away too little. The important thing is to start. When was the best time to plant a tree? 10 years ago. When's the next best time to plant a tree?
Now, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let me ask you then, audience, we are still talking to Daphne Jones. We're talking about the importance of financial literacy. That's right. We're talking about the importance of financial literacy, how you can save. So let's move back to Daphne and continue the conversation. So can you give us 3 tips that an individual can right now put in place in order to help their finances?
Okay. One, I would suggest that they start to get out of debt as quickly as possible. And so let me structure that. One is consumer debt, credit cards, things of that nature. If you have them, develop a plan to pay them off. Now, one is I've often heard is called the debt snowball, where they say you take from the smallest bill you have to the largest, and you pay off the small one first. You start doubling the payments, and then you move on to the next one. My only suggestion on that, or my little tweak, is that not only that you order them in the amount you owe, but you also find out what is the interest rate on each debt that you owe. So you may owe $1,000 on one debt, but you're only paying, you might have a very small 6 or 7% interest rate. But you may owe $800 on something else, but you're paying 26% on that. Not unusual for credit cards. Pay that one off first. In that one also, never pay the minimum payment. If all you can do is add 10 extra bucks a month, do not pay the minimum payment. Stop using a credit card and stop using a line of credit and go over the minimum payment. Get them in order and pay as much as you can on the one that matches those 2 criteria, that's smallest as well as has the highest interest rate, and go in that sense. The next thing, simultaneously that you're paying off debt, is to try to develop a form of cash reserve to put a few dollars away out of each paycheck. Once again, don't be embarrassed if it's only $5 or $10. That's okay. Put the money aside and put it somewhere where you're not going to touch it. And secondly, and this is real important, get life insurance outside of where you work. And even if you're single with no dependents, you're single, you're a single girl living on your own, you need life insurance. It's for it helps with final expense cost, and you're probably more responsible for people than you think you are. So everyone needs life insurance outside of work. Now, your financial professional can help you discuss whether you want term or permanent or a mixture of the two. I won't go into that because that could be a very long conversation, but that's real important. That's real important. So those are the three things: reduce debt, start building some type of cash reserve, and get some life insurance.
Get some life insurance.
Yes.
Audience, if you are listening, I cannot stress enough. I have another coach that really believes in really talk about saving, even if it's $10 every time you get paid. Just $10 every time you get paid. And it's amazing, as long as you don't dig into that money, it's amazing how it adds up. So I appreciate the information we're getting from you today. And I thank you so much. So as we come to the close of this conversation, I know we can go on and go on, but I would love to bring you back next time to continue this conversation. How does an individual contact you? Do you have anything that you want to offer to our audience? And how they can get a taste of you?
Oh, hey, great. I've got a landing page. It's tsmchick.com. It has all my social media buttons on there. You can get to my social media pages, Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook. You can get to all those pages from there. Also, you can get my ebook, 5 Money Myths Exposed. It's right there. You just put your name there and you'll get a text and you'll say yes. And then the link to the book will be delivered to your phone. And also there on that same page is a way to get in contact with me. I've got a calendar link there where we can either speak on the phone, or if you happen to be in Houston, you can set up a time to come by the office. So it'll be great.
Awesome. So can you say one more time how to contact you?
Okay. My landing page, T as in Tony, S as in Sierra, M as in money, chick.com. tsmchick.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you again. I don't know whether you're going to be coming to the conference for the Public Speakers Association in Las Vegas in the first week of July. If you are, I'll be able to talk to you and then we can hang out at that time.
Hey,
otherwise,
sounds great.
Are you going to be there?
I'm looking forward to it. I have to, my organization, we're meeting around the same time. So I'm looking to see if the dates coincide.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Audience, be sure to take advantage of the offer that she has graciously offered us and contact her and see how she can help you gain more financial literacy. Now, before we leave, I just want to remind you that I am launching Women's Coaching Association. Again, Women's Coaching Association. This is going to be a great platform for women coaches to be able to connect, market themselves, support each other, and gain clients at the same time. And I cannot wait for you to be a part of these amazing women coaches. And I'll be coming to you again next week. I said next month. I'll be coming back again next Monday because we're going to have Zandra Davis. And until next time, I want to say thank you for watching and bye-bye. Bye, Daphne.
Bye-bye. Thanks for having me.
Now.